Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, and the weather over the next couple of days really isn't going to be too bad temperature-wise, but it is going to get a little bit wet and stormy. But the big news is that this week it's going to be above normal temperatures. Next week, it's a whole nother ball game. Looks like a pretty good shot of cold air is coming in through the for the eastern two-thirds of the U.S. for next week. But I'll get to that in just a second. But let's first take a look at your Wednesday. And temperatures, as you can see here, are going to be fairly warm, mild if you will even. Yellow's normal high temperatures. We're in the middle 50s now here in the Ohio Valley, low to middle 50s. Very warm down in Florida, Texas, and even the Central Plains. It's going to feel pretty nice on your Wednesday. By Friday, well, we're starting to see a little bit of cooler air now starting to penetrate south there into the central U.S. The southeast still pretty nice, but you're starting to see temperatures a little bit cooler, and that's also in response to a storm system that's going to bring in some clouds and then some rain. By Saturday, temperatures continue to get a little bit cooler here across most of the U.S. Still very nice along the southeast and the eastern seaboard for the most part. And then by Sunday, you can see that colder air really starting to work its way down. You see these white dashed lines? That's showing the northwesterly flow. And those cold temperatures can even produce some snow for the lower Ohio Valley for the beginning of next week. I don't see a lot, but there will be some snow, looks like, up into the Great Lakes region. Now, as far as precipitation is concerned, on your Wednesday, not too bad. There's that energy sitting out into the Rockies. The low itself is sitting there across the Central Plains. A little bit of shower activity across the lower Ohio Valley down into the south, the southeast, along the Mississippi River Valley. Nothing really much to speak of at this point. Now that's on your Wednesday. By Thursday, that warm air starts working its way up. It's starting to push its way up and over some colder air. And so we're going to look at some pretty heavy rain, possibly a little bit of even a severe weather there in Wisconsin and Minnesota and stretching back into Kansas and Nebraska and even North and South Dakota with some snow still in the Rockies there. A little bit of light rain along the southeast. But this rain is also going to be moving its way into the Ohio Valley. For the most part, the northeast, a little bit of shower activity up in Maine, but that's pretty much it. Now, as far as Friday is concerned, we are looking at potentially some severe weather there in the lower Tennessee Valley, stretching back towards Texas. Could be some very heavy rain. This is where we're going to have to keep our weather eye out. We're starting to see some snow now up in Wisconsin and up in Minnesota as that cold air starts filtering its way down into the central U.S., and this rain now starts pushing its way up into the northeast. By Saturday, you see here more rain down in Texas. You need it. You're going to get it there. But notice there's that next little bit of energy up into Canada, and that's really going to bring a nice shot of some colder air. That's all snow there, ladies and gentlemen. But looks like on Sunday it's going to be fairly dry. So we'll see some sunshine in this area of the country with more rain now pushing its way up into the northeast. Also going to get a little bit cooler, those of you down in the state of Florida. And then as we head our way on into Sunday, you see this snow starting to work its way into the central U.S. Again, nothing heavy, but nevertheless, very cold air working its way in, potentially some severe weather along the southeast. So this is the setup for your Sunday. As we're seeing cold air across most of the country. We are drying out along the west. That's because we're seeing a big ridge of high pressure. So anytime you see the west coast drying out, they're going to get warmer, and across the two-thirds eastern U.S. will get colder because of the weather pattern. Now, the National Weather Service for next week is in fact showing this. We're looking at above normal temperatures along the west coast, but below normal temperatures across just about every place else, near normal across the high plains. But it's going to be a very chilly week for us next week. Now, as far as precipitation is concerned, again, drying out along the west coast. That's because of that ridge of high pressure, bringing those warmer temperatures there for you. It's going to dry out, but again, very cold. Reasonably speaking, okay, we're looking at normals now in the low to mid 50s, so temperature highs will be in the 40s, so nothing really bitter cold, but nevertheless, it's going to be a bit cold out there, and we're looking at rain along the southeast. So enjoy this week. We're going to see some spring-like temperatures. Next week, though, it's going to get a bit chilly. I'm George, the Weather Dad.